Right, there we go. It's your boys, um, d- d- 2011 Dan and Phil, and that one guy from that TV program that you know, because you look like one of them. You would be in one, do you know?
Is this me? What?
Yeah,
What's
that's
this? What are you... What?
your current look is. Oh yeah, I recognise that guy. You know, like like a guy like a guy who's in multiple TV shows but never has a very big part.
Like a guy who you saw in like Tracy Beaker when you were younger, and now you're seeing him in a different show when he's older, and you're like, oh yeah, he shaved
exactly.
his head.
That's exactly
weird.
what I mean. In fact, I think I'm talking about Chesney from Emmerdale or whatever it is. It's 2011 Dan and Phil and Chesney.
Chesney.
What a fucking name, Chesney. Remember Chesney? Oh no, I've covered you up. Right, okay. Well, on today's podcast, we've not got like a myriad of topics, because it's all about one event that happened. 2020 died, and that's the podcast. That's coming up at least.
Yep.
Good. Have you got anything else to tell me about? First of all,
if you're interested, I could say some stuff about the D&D campaign that I'm planning. Like it's all coming together. I could talk about that.
I'm not interested at all.
That's fine then.
No, go on. It's fine. You can tell us about it. Don't worry.
No, I mean we can do your first thing first. I haven't got like a lot to say on it. Just that I'm excited to do it. So.
Well, I suppose teaser. There you go. But basically,
that's not your one, by the way. That's the one I'm doing with these other people. I've not.
Oh, have you been doing that? Because we asked you to plan a D&D thing, didn't we?
I've been planning this one. Like, I've got enough on with this fucking one.
yeah.
It's so. No, I've not really thought about your one.
It's all right. We can tell you just don't care about me. That's all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that's happened really since last podcast is my hair's grown long, and the year has ended. The 2020, the hell year is done. It's gone.
And not changed to a 1, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's what happened. How do you feel about that, Judy? Are you happy about it? Are you what?
To be honest, yeah, in some ways. Knowing others, I can see. I don't know. I am a bit hopeful for this year, I suppose.
Yeah.
The first bit of it, like a good chunk of it, is just going to be like last year. It will just be like last year because it has to be to make the rest of the year better. But
if anything, it could be slightly worse. It could be the last worst bit before anything starts to actually get better.
It could be really bad, and then there's a big apocalypse or something. We all die, which will be interesting. That will be different from just being sat at home. So.
Well, as we've learnt during the past year of apocalypse, the apocalypse is nowhere near as exciting as everyone planned for. It's actually quite boring.
Yeah.
But
that should be like the next apocalypse movie. It's just like everybody's like, this is really fucking boring. This is so boring.
Maybe if this is the end of the world, the next civilization that rises after us, once they discover what's happened through history, they will call it the slow apocalypse. That would be a cool name, wouldn't it?
The slow death.
That's certainly what it's felt like. Fucking hell. Anyway, it's it's been a year. It's felt like about 20 years. It's felt like its own pocket lifetime this year. Like anything that's come before it doesn't feel real, and anything that's like, happened within it feels just years and years ago. It's like, did you see the what's it called, the Death to 2020 thing on Netflix by the people who made Black Mirror?
No, you've said this a couple times, and no, I've not seen it.
Well, it essentially like kind of it told the story of the year essentially in a bit of a comedy, and it was pretty good. But I was watching it and thinking, fucking hell, yeah, that was this year. And I think loads of people have done that. For like the biggest example, the one right at the start was the Australian fires.
Yeah, Australia was fucking on fire. Yeah,
like California was on fire earlier this year too. Do you remember? And was was Notre Dame on fire as well?
Yeah. Everything was just on fire for like
Notre
a bit.
Dame fire. Let's see. When was that? Notre Dame fire. No, that was. That was 2019.
Oh, all right.
See,
Okay.
thing is, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? It's
I
just
lo-
insane, isn't it?
I love that like we've sort of gone into this year going, yeah, 2020 is gonna be a great year. Oh my! Your
Oh,
voice has gone weird. What's this?
there we go. No, I think we're fine. I think we're fine now.
What's
Sorry,
this? What's
I
happening?
knocked my cable out. Don't worry about it. I just knocked my cable
Hello?
out. I'm here now.
Is
I'm
this
here.
is this a
I'm
is
here
this
now.
a Jordan only podcast?
No, it's not. Jude,
What's happening?
Jude, I'm here. Jude, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you sound
Okay.
like dog shit.
That's fine. Don't worry about that. I won't sound dog shit on the podcast. How about now?
You sound fine. Yeah.
Okay,
What
yeah,
was
that's
that?
fine.
What just
I
happened?
knocked my cable out. Don't worry.
Oh, great.
Professional podcast. It's fine. But yeah, the years felt
Oh.
just I don't know. I don't even know if there's much point saying anything because obviously everyone pretty much, other than countries that can actually manage their country, has been locked inside. So
Mm.
yeah, God, I wish I was in Australia right now. Fucking
Well, you
hell.
don't, because it's on fire.
Well, it was. It was.
Yeah.
I wish I'd joined Australia in like March. then it'd been fine. But
Yeah. Everything was just, really like ashy.
Ashy. You know, the thing is with Australia, right, is everyone's been sort of pointed at it being like, oh my God, Australia's so good. And then there's cynics who say to that, like, oh yeah, well, their country's like massively spread out. It's way easier to isolate. It's way less likely to spread a virus there. Well, that is true, but also they just did handle it way better as well. Same with New Zealand. It's like, and Scandinavia too. All those countries that are doing really well. It's like, yes, they did have geographical advantages. Most of them. Some of them didn't actually. But like, our country looks fucking. We look so stupid. Like, Cal, who we saw him at New Year's and that. He's been on the podcast before. He knows people in Finland, and whenever he's talked to them, apparently, if they have any COVID memes about a country that's doing bad, it's our country that gets used. We're the bad COVID country, apparently, to the rest of the world, which is fucking awful, really. It is embarrassing, but I don't know. That's what we live in. It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
And the worst bit about it is my hair looks stupid, and I can't do anything about it. I'm just going back.
It was like that last year, to be fair. So
I'm gonna do a middle part and just own it for the rest of the podcast.
Oh God. What was that noise you just made? You just went like, yeah.
It was my laugh. Have you got any New Year's resolutions, Judd?
I did actually have one, and that is just to save money. Just do a lot better
Have you
job.
not already been trying to do that? What's happened? Have you been?
I have just been doing a shit job, but like this year I want to save at least pretty much like at minimum £100 a week, but like aim for like 150 a week, maybe
which
more.
To a lot of people will probably sound quite a lot, but you don't do that bad actually.
No, I don't do that bad. So that's what I'm going to try and aim for this year. So, and my first paycheck of the year is in 2 days. So we'll see if I stick to that or not. So yeah,
well,
but I'm
just like £400 to £600 a month. It's not actually that. It doesn't actually sound that bad. Like even me, I get paid £1,200 a month. So
yeah,
I could do that. But the thing is, that would be a hell of a lot more difficult when I start having to pay for a house and things like that.
Yeah,
so.
Because me and Sam are thinking about getting like a flat together or something, but we want to have like 4 or 5 months of savings before we think about it.
Yeah, you'll have to rent doing that, but rent is so extortionate. It's fucking insane. Essentially, me and my girlfriend will be paying just under £500 a month between us to buy and own eventually. After it'll take 30 years to buy, but to buy a 3-bedroom semi-detached house very close to the town centre. But if you tried to find anywhere to rent for that amount, It'd be like a 1-bedroom flat. It's fucking mental. It honestly is. I'm gonna look it up right now. Zoopla. I googled Zoopla. La Zoop. that's the French
Souple
version.
la zoop.
La Zoop. Right, let's put the same place. Minimum. Let's put 600. Minimum 400. Maximum 600. So it's like, you know, somewhere similar.
Yeah.
No minimum bedrooms. Price per month. Yeah, price per month. Right. Okay. Oh no, there's shared accommodation on there. So you could have, but for the same price. Hold on. You could have same price to rent. You could have a 3-bedroom property. But it's fucking trashed. You can have a 2-bedroom terrace. That's
Yeah.
You could have a 2-bedroom terrace. You could have a 2-bedroom terrace on Clumber Street.
What? Where?
On
Clumber Street.
Street, yeah.
Clumber or Plumbus?
Look, you could have for £500 a month a 1-bedroom flat.
Nice.
See, the thing is, it shows how much location matters, because all of those that I were reading out were not in good areas. They weren't close to town centre.
Yeah.
You know, so that matters a lot, like a hell of a lot. But yeah, it's renting. It's fucking weird that you have to pay more to not own a place than you have to pay to own a place. But then again, I suppose you got more. It's less of a pain potentially to move and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a pain it is to sort out all the documentation and everything like that of becoming a new tenant renting. But what I can tell you is that to do that for buying a house, it's a massive pain in the ass. It's honestly hugely shocked me how difficult the process is for buying a house, because I like to think that I'm not one of the most stupid people out there, and honestly, it's been such a fucking struggle. So it makes me wonder how, like, you know, people who are just very slow, let's say, how do they buy a house? How do they do it? It's like I'm not even certain I'm going to be able to manage it. How do other people do it? It's not like as in I've not got enough money. It's literally just the process of having to do it is insane. So I don't know. Maybe the process of renting is easier, but I can tell you that houses have been a wacky one. But just swiveling on back to New Year's, Judd. We did something for New Year's.
We did, yeah.
We did as much as we could. We had the biggest party we possibly could for New Year's, which was outdoors and socially distanced.
Yeah.
Essentially, we drove to the top of a big hill and looked at our town, and that was it.
Yeah.
We drove up. We drove in my car, and Cal, who we mentioned earlier, we went to like the top of this hill that overlooks like the town we live in, and we went like bumper to bumper. That sounds like a gay reference, but it's not.
We went
although you wish it were, am I right, Jid? You wish it were? Hey.
No, cause...
You do. You would like to go bumper to bumper with Cal.
Yeah, but you said we went bumper to bumper.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I meant me and Cal, but anyway.
You what?
Well,
wait, what? What is it?
Anyway, forget about the bumpers.
No bumpers.
And so me and Cal drove in separate cars, and you and Jasmine, my girlfriend, were able to drink, but me and Cal weren't. So only half of the people were drinking.
Yeah,
which is weird for New Year's.
Jasmine didn't even really drink that much, did she?
No, she's not. She don't get drunk really. The only time she ever really is bothered about getting drunk is when she's with her mates from university, or when you know, that's the only time I've known her. Want to get drunk,
as drunk as I did.
No, no. Judd got weirdly drunk. Like, I didn't think you were that drunk. I honestly didn't.
I was fucked.
Apparently you were.
Honestly, I was fucked.
How did you you didn't have that much? You had like a couple of Jaeger bombs and then what, like 6 beers?
No, 9.
Well, that's still not that crazy for us. That's like
I think Moretti's a bit of a stronger one, but I had 9 of them.
It's not just.
It is. It's
It's
not
not.
for being a stronger one. It is.
It's
Jake's
not.
Jake's trying
Shall I
to be
work it out?
Go on then.
I'll
Bring
show
it
you.
up.
Beer Moretti.
Yeah.
Birra Moretti. Strength.
Percentage.
4.6. And that's like literally pretty much exactly the same as Budweiser. Budweiser's 4.5. So it's not very strong. It's still just lager.
That 0.1 percentage apparently makes a big fucking difference because I'm fucked. I think, to be honest, I've not had Jaeger in forever, and I'd had a couple shots for it with my granddad before I went out.
Oh right.
I'd had three or four Jaeger bombs, I think, and they were big Jaeger bombs because I was having it in like a mug. I wasn't filling the whole mug up. I wasn't having like filling the whole mug up. It was definitely bigger than like what you just knock back. Like I had to have a few gulps of it to get it down. So they were big. I think it was the Jaeger. On the way back, you said, I remember
your mic down a tiny bit.
You were saying on the way back that I'd gone right quiet. You said something about that. The reason I went quiet is because I was trying so fucking hard to not throw up in your car.
Well, I asked you if you need a bag.
It took everything. I
had
a bag
like a new car. You could not have thrown up in that. That would have been.
I had a bag next to me though. For
a plastic bag.
That big bag. A bag I brought. I had. I was just gonna be sick in that, but I didn't. I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna. If I do go to be sick, I will just be sick in it. But I was like, no, I'm gonna try and not to be though. I'm gonna try and wait till I get home, and I did. I managed to make it until I got home, but I was so sick. I genuinely believe that I must have thrown up at least 3 pints worth of.
Oh my god! What, you were sick when you got home then?
Yeah, I was really.
Why?
I was just it like throwing up. I think honestly, I think it was the Jaeger.
Was it like liquid throw up? Was it like?
It was just all liquid.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. That's why I think it's probably. Did you not eat much?
Yeah. I was just gonna say. I suppose another thing is that I didn't eat like at all before I came out.
Well, that's Jasmine's normal method, but I'm really bad at that because I'm a hungry drunk. So whenever I get drunk, I'm like, food, and I just eat loads, and I'm like, oh, now I'm sober. So, well,
yeah. I'm the opposite actually. I like eat all the time when I'm not drinking, but when I'm drinking, I just want to drink really.
Yeah. Well, let's rewind to the start of the night. Do you remember what we invited you on the podcast, didn't we? And then I told you before I told you the details, and I told you before we were going that you need to bring so much stuff to keep warm, like so much stuff, because it's middle of winter and we were going essentially into the middle of nowhere onto the top of a hill. It's known for being mega cold there, as in we went on a hike around there recently and it was fucking like so snowy. We were like in a blizzard, like but it wasn't like snowy when we went. Well, actually I think it was a bit, wasn't it? Was it a little bit snowy? I think it was. It was a little bit snowy.
There was snow everywhere.
Oh well, when I went on the hike it was way snowier, right, but anyway, there was snow, so it was really cold, but I knew it was going to be mega cold up there. And then you turn up in your fucking normal, like, work ass looking coat.
I didn't. No, like... I didn't. You're such a fucking liar. I showed up. I had 2 whole pairs of socks on.
Whoa!
I had me thermals. I had me thermal like bottoms and me thermal top. I had a shirt on top of that. I had a jumper on top of that, and then I had my big coat on. I had a woolly hat on. And not a woolly hat, but like a beanie. And I thought that'd be enough. I tried to bring like a blanket as well. Or
yeah, you needed like blankets, like 3 coats.
I did try and bring a blanket, but they won't let me. But I still thought I weren't like just rocking up. I didn't go out in some trackies and like just like a top. I had a fair bit on. I should have probably grabbed some gloves as well. I think Granddad had some gloves somewhere, but It was fucking cold, man.
I know.
It was
Do you
really
understand
cold.
why I literally said to you, bring too much things to keep
Yeah.
warm. Bring the amount that you think this is way too excessive. That's what I told you.
It was fucking cold. It was. I said to him, it was like being somewhere in the fucking Canadian wilderness. It was.
Yeah. Me and Jasmine brought enough to like fucking camp for a week. We brought a bunch of food, like water, tea, like 3 blankets and all sorts. We brought, and most importantly, I think I might have mentioned that I get a card for this discount store that I can go to, and they had an offer on for 180 mini donuts for £1.
Yeah.
That's how much they cost. So we brought you 60 each. We brought 60 for you and 60 for Cal.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty good. But you barely ate any of them. Cal, right? We saw him essentially the day after that, or like nearly a day after that, and we expected him to have got through a fair amount of them. But when we asked him, "Oh, have you finished them donuts yet?" You're like, "Oh yeah, I finished them when I got home that night." He had 60 of these donuts that night.
That's bad. I woke up the next day and I was like, oh fucking hell! I hope I managed to bring them donuts home with me, and I didn't. I'd left them in the car because I was just gunning for the toilet. So,
but yeah, so we didn't really mention much of what we did. The whole point of it was just to kind of chat and hang out, and you two could have drinks, and we were just going to wait for... Essentially, we couldn't be asked to buy our own fireworks, so we were just going to watch everyone else's over the town.
It were really nice, that.
It was good, actually. I wouldn't mind doing that every year. Any time that we're, like, actually... all in the country, I was going to say, but like, because our dad and his partner go away for New Year's every year because they hate all the, like, having to organise whose parties they're going to go to, you know, who they're going to go out with, that sort of thing.
They pull a Christmas with the Cranks every
Yeah, they
year.
do. And I really like that, and I've done it before, and it was actually brilliant. So unless I'm doing that, it is quite good. It was quite pretty to say we've got such a shitty town. But I figure we should just go back to the start. We were just kind of, you know, you guys were drinking and all that sort of thing, and you were fucking telling your stories. Whenever you come on the podcast, you don't have any fucking... You act like you don't have anything to share, any stories or anything.
I don't know.
Then off the podcast, you just go, oh yeah, this one time I fucking fucked a unicorn or something like that. It's like, what?
Some of the stories that I tell, I don't know if I want to be like a matter of public record or... I feel like could get us banned off Twitch, so I don't tell them on the podcast.
Is there none of those stories that you think are S4 podcast?
No, I could tell the one. I could tell the one where I was taking a shit. Do you remember that one?
Do you think the statute of limitations is expired on that one already?
That one's fine. That one's fine. Yeah.
That was my favourite one.
I could tell that one absolutely. So I could tell that now, or we could say that.
Yeah, go for it. You go for that, and once you finish this, we'll continue with what our New Year's night was like.
Okay. I've definitely told the one of me taking a shit in someone's garden and not realising it was in someone's garden. And,
so if you want to know that one, you'll have to go back through all the previous podcasts. If you want to do that, you can find them on YouTube, on the Games Badly YouTube channel, or on Spotify and Apple Music and Apple Podcasts, is it now? And all the good podcast platforms. Or you can make sure you don't miss out on any of the stories as we see them live on twitch.tv/gamesbadly.
So...
I'm getting good at this, Arnold. Come on, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Go on.
I definitely have brought up before how me and you both used to post leaflets.
Yeah.
And you'd need to shit while you posted leaflets because you need to shit
leaflets,
sometimes.
They really make you need to shit. Like when you're holding a leaflet, I'm like, I need to go shit now.
The ink soaks into your skin, and the skin irritates your bowels. It makes you want to shit. You'd need to shit because you'd be walking all day, pretty much. You'd be walking from like, I think it was 8 till 3, something like that.
Yeah.
And
Oh no, it was longer than that. Easily longer than that.
Was it longer?
Yeah, you'd get to the like you get to like the depot at like 8, then you'd be setting off at about 8:30. You'd normally get the longest we'd go would be about 45 minutes, so you'd start walking at latest at 9:15. But normally it was like 10 to 9 or something, because you'd just get somewhere quick, and it'd be like because they only wanted to post in the local area because they were, you know, building conservatories for local people.
Yeah.
So it would normally be like 9:15 at the very latest, normally about 10 to 9, I would say. So about 8:50, and you wouldn't stop posting until about 5. Like, you'd be walking until about 5 p.m. Yeah, definitely.
I can't fucking remember it being till then.
Yeah, it was 9 while 5, and then you'd have to come home.
God.
And then
You're right.
After that, they drive you back to the depot, and if you'd driven a long way, it took you about 45 minutes, right? Then you'd have to sort all your leaflets out and all that sort of thing, so that'd be another 15 minutes. You might set off home at 6, and then it were about 7 by the time I'd get home if I'd do it. I'd have to set off from my house at about 6:30, and I'd not get home till about 7. So it were like walking for like 7-8 hours straight. And when we say walking, it's not walking like, you know, ambling round on a nice hike or walking around the shops. It was fucking power walking. It was almost jogging.
Yeah, no, you're right. But anyway, so you'd be walking all day and you'd need a shit, and the fucking protocols for shitting were you were supposed to ring up. You'd have like team leaders who drove you around the car and dropped you off. What you have to do is call them up and be like, I need the toilet. Can you take me somewhere to go to the toilet? And then they'd have to come and pick you up and then take you somewhere to go and shit. Like if it was like a Sainsbury's or something and they had a toilet. It's not just on the floor in the middle of the Sainsbury's.
Also, there might not be anywhere in that area either.
There could also
sometimes there just wasn't.
There could just not be places. Or, you know, like a pub or somewhere. Do you remember pubs? Yeah, like a pub so you can use their toilet. But the thing is, the whole process would take about half an hour because you'd be somewhere and they'd be off posting leaflets as well. So you'd call them up. You'd be like, I need to shit. Can you take me somewhere? They'd be like, okay. Then they'd probably finish the street that they were on anyway, if it was like just a bit left. Then they'd have to go to the car, get in the car, find wherever you are, take you to somewhere, let you have a shit, then drive you back to where you were posted. So the whole process is about half an hour. And
at least.
Because of how fucking demanding our boss was, you couldn't. You
didn't have half an hour to lose.
You didn't have half an hour to lose at all. So
just as a side note, you were saying with lunch as well. The thing is, it was really hard to bring lunch because you don't want to carry it around with you the whole time.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to carry around and go at the speed you need to. So you'd have to just hope there was a shop to buy stuff from. And if there was, you'd have to buy something small and quick and just slam it down your throat and then keep going. But if there wasn't one, no lunch for you. Just keep walking constantly.
Yeah. That is what it's like. I always had mine in... I had a backpack as well, and I had it in that, and it was pretty much that was all was in it because I didn't want that weighing me down as well.
Yeah, so you had to kind of carry 2 backpacks as well because you have to carry a bag full of the leaflets.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're getting off topic. That's the reason why you'd have to shit. Now, what happened? I'm sure I've told the one about me shitting in someone's garden by accident because I thought it was a derelict house and no one was living in it. Turns out someone was. So that's that story really short. But there was another time where I was walking somewhere. I want to say in like Wakefield or something, and
shout out Wakefield.
Yeah, shout out Big Wake.
I'm sure they'll love that.
I got to this one bit. And I was thinking, I've got to shit. I'm about to shit my guts out. And there was like a big sort of, not like wooded area, but just where there was like a shit ton of like just foliage. Yeah, just everywhere. So it's like, right, okay, I'm gonna go shit in that. So fight my way through the bushes, hacking away at it with my machete like I'm some sort of deep jungle explorer. And I get to this middle bit and I crouch down and start having a shit. And there was like a path, like a little walkway that was kind of visible from where I was shitting.
Oh, this one! This is a different story than I thought you were telling. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm crouching down, and I'm having a big shit, and I see this group of lads walking past, and I don't know if this makes it better or worse that they were.
Don't just continue. Just carry on. It doesn't matter.
They were not my race. So I'm squatting down, and it was like something out of fucking Metal Gear. Honestly, it was like like Far Cry. You know, when you're crouched and you're hiding, you can see the detection meter going up.
Yeah,
yeah, like the little detection meter thing opened its eyes, and they're walking past me, and one of these guys sees something. He doesn't know what he sees, but he sees something in like amongst these bushes and stuff, and he shouts to his mates. Yo, I think there's someone in them bushes, and they're starting to come over, and I think, fucking hell, I don't need this. I don't need these lads like fighting their way into the bushes to see what's going on. So I'm like, right. It was like I've got two options: fight or flight. And boy, did I choose fight. So what happened was they were starting to come over. I'm like, fuck, right, I need something to scare them off. So I made like a weird noise. Like basically, I was thinking, I'm gonna pretend that I'm like a crazy homeless person or something, like a weird homeless man. So as they're making the way over, I go like, yeah. They go, oh fuck! You run off.
Can we get that noise again, Judd?
We're like, yeah! They ran away, I scared them.
I wish I could have seen that Inspector to Mars. Just seen it happen from above. Oh god. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That wasn't the one I remembered. Oh, my eyes have got all red.
What's the one that you remembered then?
The one with the kind of plinth type bit.
Oh yeah, like the monolith.
Yeah, it's weird how Judd's got so many stories about him shitting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh god, I look stoned now. My eyes are all red.
It was another time again when I needed a shit. This happened a fair amount of times. I got a third one as well. If we want to keep hearing stories about me shitting, it was just they dropped me. I know exactly where they dropped me. It was fuck, I forgot the name of the place.
Doesn't matter about the name of the place.
Yeah,
Anyway.
So they dropped me off, and it wasn't actually long after they dropped me off, like on the morning. It was 10 minutes after or something.
The reason why this is still, it could still need a shit, by the way. You'd think that like, oh, you shit before you set off, and then you'll be fine for a while at least. That is true, but the thing is, it was almost like energy drinks were necessary. Like you couldn't. I very much struggled to do that job without energy drinks.
I definitely had a relentless.
I would have one in the morning to get there, and I'd have to save a couple. I'd get 3 in the morning because you didn't want to carry much round either. So I'd get 3 in the morning, and I'd have 1 in the morning, and I'd try and save the others for going home, but you never could. If there was a shop, I'd get some more, but. Because on the way home, I would literally just fall asleep. Everyone did. But the thing is, if you've ever seen that one episode of In-Betweeners, where Will's having plenty of energy drinks to be able to stay up and study for his exams, then you'll know that energy drinks, they definitely make you want to shit a lot. Yeah, so
they make you shit.
So that did not help with this job.
So I definitely had a relentless that morning. I think this was before I started smoking, so I don't think like I'd had a cig as well, because like an energy drink and a cig for me is like, right, you are shitting within the next 10 minutes. It is unavoidable. So
do they still sell Relentless energy drinks?
I think so. The Relentless was always my favorite. Is it? No, sorry, Rockstar. It was blue Rockstar. Yeah.
See, Relentless is like. Okay, so Monster is like the Chavia version of Red Bull. Relentless is like the Chavia version of Monster. and then Rockstar is the bottom of the rung. It is even worse. It's the most sesh Gremlin energy drink.
That's worse because there's like 99 pence, Astor's Choice energy drink, so they can get worse. But it was down there. But anyway, yeah, I'd had one of them, and it was like not 10 minutes after they dropped me off, and I managed to I was lucky because it was like next to sort of like a park area. So I went to that park, and then there was like sort of trees and stuff around there. So I headed into the trees, and as I went in, as I like rounded this corner, there was like a few like almost like concrete slabs like stacked on top of each other, like blocks almost, and it was like a shrine, like
But was it like an art piece? Because I imagine it as like an actual kind of statue.
It wasn't an actual statue. It wasn't like an art piece or anything.
I thought it was like a statue. No.
It was just like a few things on top of it. I made it a piece of art though. I made it a piece of art because they were all stacked. It was like if you've ever read anything by H.P. Lovecraft, it's like what sort of like one of the mental people, and they're due to like honor their dark gods, like just blocks on top of each other. So I thought, I've got to shit. I'm gonna shit on the monolith. I'm gonna shit on the shrine.
Oh god, that we could put that on a T-shirt. If this was popular enough, we would now start selling T-shirts that say "shit on the monolith."
Yeah. But anyway, I just shit on top of this like these stacks of rocks, and it was like a good whippy as well. It was like a good whippy. And yeah, it was weird because like after I was done, you sort of looked at it and it was like, I do think that could be in a gallery somewhere, like in an art gallery. Like some pretentious guy has done, and then people are walking. It's like, of course, it's an homage to modern day art and how people perceive it, like some shit like that. I think I could put that up like in London somewhere.
One of my favorite things to daydream about is having like essentially unlimited money, and if that was the case, I would build an art museum just for you to shit on things as the art. Like that's the entire thing. Yeah. Like we'd get a bunch of different beautiful things and you just shit on them. Literally, and then that'd be the whole thing. But speaking of shitting, I had to take a shit when we were having our New Year's celebration on the hill. And I had to go behind the wall into a sheep field and do a shit. And that was quite fun.
Yeah.
And weirdly, I made you all listen to see if you could hear it drop. No one could hear it. We'd brought toilet, because I said, didn't I, earlier, that we'd brought like everything. We were super prepared. And we'd brought toilet roll in case the girl that was there needed to wee, they need to wipe and things. But mostly in case you needed to shit, because we would have thought, being known as the Phantom Shitter, it was mostly
Phantom Shitter of Yorkshire, yeah.
But weirdly, it was me this time that needed to shit, and it wasn't that long into us being there before I had to shit. I don't know why that was, to be honest, but that was the case. Yeah, it was quite fun though. It felt like something out of like an 80s movie or like an artsy movie or something. Like where you just go up to the hill and kind of like fuck around because there's nothing to do in this hick town. It was kind of like one of those. No?
Yes.
You never seen anything like that, have you?
No, I have seen something like that.
You don't watch movies. You just watch porn.
I've shit everywhere. I literally know every destination because I've shit there.
What? I wasn't talking about the shitting anymore. I was talking about us being on the hill.
Oh yeah, I know. What I'm saying is that I've shit everywhere. I've probably shit there, where you were just saying.
What? The fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. To be honest, I got lost.
You just wanted to talk about shit again, didn't you? We've been talking about shit for 40 minutes, Judd.
I'm going to be honest with you. I tuned out. Like, talking about something I weren't listening, and my eyes just glazed over. So.
Your eyes got glazed.
I thought I've done that a few times on this podcast. That's the only time it's not worked. So
But it was fun. It was good. We saw the fireworks. We had I brought a Bluetooth speaker and we were playing some party tunes. I'd forgotten it for most of the night, but I played Auld Lang Syne, and when it turned to midnight, the fireworks went on for ages, didn't they?
Yeah,
it was actually like really cool. It was something
really
out of a movie, and it was really cool because we all kind of just stood and watched them for a little bit, and then I don't know. You fucking saluted.
I did. I saluted.
And the reason why was because the Auld Lang Syne is obviously the traditional New Year's thing that gets played. So we played that, but it wasn't a very long version. So I was like, oh shit, it's still going. I need to put something else on. So I just put the national anthem on. It felt appropriate. And so we stood there and just start saluting. But in the middle of the national anthem, well, to start with on the national anthem, we were like, fucking hell, can't believe the Queen's got through 2020. Can't believe she's actually made it through this shit. So we were like, so you were like, go on, Lizzie, well done, you did it. And then, for some reason, towards the end of that, we ended up, like, all simultaneously just yelling at 2020 to fuck off. We were like, fuck off, you bastard, yeah. Like, genuinely, it was like a mob, you know, like when you get an angry crowd in like a medieval times with like pitchforks and that. It was like that.
Ah, witch, get out, you witch!
You threw a bottle. We were like,
I did.
Get out, you fucking bastard!
I actually threw a bottle at 2020. I was like,
obviously, it just landed
it just landed among some like grass, but.
I thought there was something a bit like, I don't know, unifying and cool about that moment of us all just being so pissed off at that year and just hating it. Oh, it was funny. We got a good picture of you looking like a gremlin as well.
That I showed someone, lad I work with called Billy. I showed him that. Did
I send them to you?
No, it was on. You posted it on Instagram.
Oh, do you want the gremlin one? I'll send you that one too.
I think it was the gremlin one.
We sent you one of you looking like a gnome and one of you looking like a gremlin. Like we tried to do some different photo prompts because that's generally what you.
I like that one. That's like a gremlin or a goblin one. That's like a goblin going. Let's make a deal.
Yeah, so we got a nice picture of Judd being like that. I don't know. It was good. It felt very 2020 to be doing that. It felt very kind of artsy coming of age movie. To be doing something like that.
Well, it was like something out of coming of age movie.
Have you seen Sex Education?
I've not, no.
The Netflix show. It could be on that. That one's a little bit too down to earth, but something like God, what am I thinking of? God, we don't know any of these, do we? Any of those movies that were like based on a John Green book? You know those ones like Fault in Our Stars, things like that. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that movie about the cancer teenagers?
I know, like it exists. I'm not, I've never watched it. But...
when that came out, I was dating someone, and she really, really liked the book, and she wanted to go see it, and she had tickets for like the premiere of it at not like the red carpet one at all, just like the premiere of it, in normal cinemas.
Yeah.
So I said I'd go with her, and when we got out of it, I literally just looked her right in the eye and went, "That was fucking awful." She was looking at me with hope, like, "Wasn't that so good?" I just stared her right in the eye and shot. I was like, I could see she was looking for approval, like some sort of positive thing out of it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I just went, "That was fucking awful," and it was horrible. I hated it. I didn't want to watch. I took no pleasure of just watching two teenagers die of cancer. That's what happened in that movie. It was terrible. I hated
it. Both have it? I thought only one
I think
had
so.
It.
No,
I thought the story of it was that like one of them was leaving the other behind and that they were together for like the last moments.
No,
I didn't know both of them had it.
No, I think one of them had it, but I don't know if he died. Actually,
they just totally got over it. they just went. I'm done with this whole cancer thing. I'm all right. This guy's just like got a bunch of tubes in his fucking neck.
No. The guy, I think the guy only had one leg. I think they had to chop his leg off. I think. Oh yeah.
Chris fucking Cannon lop a leg off for good measure.
Yeah, I think that's what the plot was.
He's not sad enough and just.
See, the thing is, I only watched it that one time because it was so bad. It was just terrible. So yeah, it was our New Year's was like something out of one of those kind of movies, and it was pretty good. But at one point,
it was like Rolling Thunder, just watching all the fireworks go off. And yeah, it was just really
Judd
nice.
got way too drunk, chucked someone's Christmas present at a wall that then went under a car. If that would have chipped my car, you've no idea how much money you would have owed me.
By the way, I really was trying to just like get that in the grass. By the way, I wasn't like trying to lob it at the.
Well, I mean, it's not yours anyway.
But I was very drunk and I did, So I.
Oh my god! If that had done any damage to my car, you would have owed me about 18 grand.
I got down on the floor on this road to fish it out, and my coat's fucked. It needs like going to the dry cleaners. I didn't realize how
that recently.
I know. I didn't realize it was like that bad down there. I didn't see. So, but yeah.
Oh, you spaz. But anyway, 2020's over. Happy new 2021. We're in lockdown. Oh, fuck. It's like 2021. Yes, finally 2020's over. This'll be our year. No, Boris says no. Lockdown. Lockdown for the foreseeable future.
To be fair, it's
until we can needle you all. Stay at home.
Just like, yeah. If we just fucking keep this going for as long as it needs to be going, this one. Until enough people are inoculated, then it's done. Then, isn't it?
Word, but yeah,
it's inoculated.
I don't know if that's the right word. I'm not sure.
I'm sure it's inoculated.
But the thing is, that could be like 4 months.
That's fine. I mean, it's not fine. It sucks, and of course it's going to suck. But just if we just stick it out for 4 months, then it's done. But if we keep fucking about with stuff, we'll never get over it.
But what I'm saying at this point, is that possible? Because could the economy take a 4-month lockdown?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
ain't an expert. I just want everyone to get jabbed, and and for us all to be
me
free
too.
Again.
I just that's what I want as well. I just want us to. We should have done. We should do now what we should have done in the beginning, and just properly fucking stick it out. Not getting towards the end and going, oh, it's looking all right. Let's just sort of start letting people into stuff again, and then another wave hitting, and then it just all going to shit because it's fucking Boris's fault for doing that in the first place, and two, it's on the British public as well because the British public are just shit. So.
Well, I don't know. This is what happens though when you don't commit to something. Like they were too wishy-washy with it. It was like you can't. If we were gonna, the two choices were have a proper lockdown, like lock down until every instance of it is either people have died of it or they've got better of it. Lock down, like no going anywhere, or a policeman will tase you and take you home until. And well, you obviously have to be able to get shopping, but I don't know. But yeah, so if they'd have to do that until it's essentially gone, or just don't bother, just don't do anything, and let it spread through everyone, and just like how Scandinavia did, or at least Sweden did. Those were the choices. But Boris literally, like, it's like either go all the way that way or go all the way that way. In the middle is exactly where our country landed, and that's the worst. But yeah, and Scandinavia, at least I know, makes fun of us for that, which is quite. But
well, Scandinavia talks like this, and they're a bunch of dickheads, so fuck them. Yeah, I thought you bastards. Yeah, I just fucking showed them. I really
like Scandinavia. Actually, I would love to go to Sweden.
I just showed all of Scandinavia.
You showed them. You got him.
All of them. They are so embarrassed right now.
Oh dear, but yeah, it's lockdown. It kind of sucks. What kind of sucks for me at least is that my plan, because I kind of saw this coming, I was like, right, I want to do skateboarding, right? I want to just kind of bash about, being able to ride up and down a skateboard. I want to use that as kind of my distraction from everything. I want like once a day to just go for like half an hour and just skate up and down, just a bit of music or something. But the thing is, I've discovered that you can't skate when it's wet. Can't be wet.
Yep.
It absolutely disintegrates your skateboard. Like, you have no grip tape left, and your board just goes. It's gone.
Yeah.
Which is not good. Because this lockdown's fucking winter. So in our country, it's always wet.
Like
wet the whole time.
It's like Lockdown 2 Electric Boogaloo. This time it's in winter.
Oh god. Lock 3 down. Yeah, so
Lock
I don't.
3 down.
I'm gonna have to. I want to be able to go out and do a bit of skates and things, but I just can't. And where I live, there's nowhere indoors, and even if there's no indoor skate parks, and even if there was, I'm pretty sure they'd be shut. So
yeah,
it's so frustrating. And it's not exactly like, even if they were open, but you had to wear a mask, I don't see that particularly working either, because it's a really aerobic activity. So like, you need to be able to breathe.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that. It's just a bummer, isn't it?
It's a big fat bummer, yeah.
But at least I've got a job. Do you know what I don't get about jobs is that people feel like they need to be appreciative of their job. Like, they need to be glad that they've got one. But you earned that, you know? Like, it's kind of like you're earning your money, and you earned your qualifications to be able to get a job. So it's like, I get practically why it makes sense, but really that's kind of shit, isn't it? That you have to appreciate the fact that you're allowed to do work.
I mean, I've never even thought about it, to be honest. I just go to work.
You are a very simple man, aren't you?
Yeah.
Have you got any plans for lockdown, I suppose? I don't know if that's possible.
Just probably just work on Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
You've got more time to do us one now. Way.
I'm not gonna fucking do it.
Right.
I've been. I mean, I probably will at some point, but it's just I've been focusing on this one story for so long. I really want to make sure it's the best it can be.
Well, once it's done, you can do ours, and you'll have plenty of time, because we'll be locked down until what is it? 2026? We're going to be locked down until
I think I've got that on the calendar.
2026. That seems about right. How are you feeling about when's your festivals and that's supposed to be? Because I've sort of heard that they're all just going to be cancelled until further notice.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to be getting like 200. Was it, how much were the ticket? I can't remember how much they were, but I think it was like 200.
That'd really suck. I think mine's supposed to be in summer. I think it's supposed to be like June or something, but
I specifically put down like an extra tenner for insurance if it did get cancelled. So it's
God, it's just awful, isn't it? But I don't know. I still don't really get it. I still don't know. The only explanation I can see for this amount of panic from the world is just mass hysteria, just like mass media hysteria. Because
I think that has got a lot to do with it, you know.
It must do. I can't.
Not putting too much tinfoil hat on. There is obviously a problem going around. I'm not saying it's not a real problem, but it's just a lot of it is. It's just obviously the fucking media going, look.
I can't see any other reason why it's been taken to this level of panic, because literally, if you look at so many other things that are not just like stuck in somewhere like a remote place in Africa, the prime example I think is cancer. It's like, why aren't we panicking about cancer? Like, we panic about this, but why aren't we panicking about cancer? Like, literally, anyone could just get cancer at any point. You don't have to be near anyone, far away from it. You could just get cancer right now. Could just go bloop, cancer. There you go. That's possible.
Get a chance of getting cancer than you do.
Oh yeah. But although I have got weird balls, So maybe.
Oh, you have got some weird balls.
Yeah, that's that. But
you know, if we both got cancer, we could do a shot by shot recreation of Fault in Our Stars.
Oh my god. Would I have to get my balls chopped off, and I could be the chopped off one?
You'd have to get your leg chopped off. Yeah.
What? But I've got ball cancer.
Oh, we took his leg instead. We thought it was the leg one.
My third leg, am I right? I should put that on my soundboard. But it's crazy because anyone could get cancer at any time, and there's no cure for it. There hasn't been for many years, and the likelihood of surviving it is about 50-50, which is way more deadly than COVID is. And that's 50-50 without health conditions, I believe. I don't know. Whenever we say something like that on this podcast, just assume we're probably wrong, because we are quite idiots. That might be right. You never know. But don't take our word as fact. Please don't. But yeah, it just makes me think that, God, that I do understand that, like, an infection rather than something like cancer can escalate if you don't do anything about it. But it can also, if it's not good enough, just herd immunity just goes blam, gone. That's why we get the cold every year. It's a different cold, but we just herd immunity to it straight away, I believe, is what happens. I don't know.
Well,
but
it's the common cold to virus, isn't it? So it will be
it's
rapidly getting
similar sort of
and
thing.
getting strange because, well, viruses evolve relatively quickly. So
yeah, and so do we, and we get herd immunity to it every year. Or we get a cold and we get over it and we fight it, and it's like shall I look this up? Common cold death rate, death.
Well, I doubt there's going to be any death
percentage. No, there will. Can you die from a common cold? Of course there will. You can die from all sorts. People die from, like, wanking and shit. What is it? What's the percentage? Let me tell you a percentage likelihood of dying from common cold. How many people die from the flu? That's a bit different to the common cold. Common cold death. Right. Okay. Oh no, that's still COVID. I've searched for the common cold, and it's like, what, you want to know about COVID? Some more COVID?
Yeah.
Got some COVID?
Yeah.
Gross. Okay, so I don't know when this came out, this image, but it's saying that coronavirus... Oh, whatever, let's not fucking talk about this shit. Cold kills people. It's bad, but we get over it. It's like, I think that's kind of maybe closer to what this virus probably would have been than, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what I'm saying other than it seems crazy that it's so massive. It's the biggest medical thing I've ever heard about. When cancer seems, from what I can tell, much more scary. But there you go. I think that's a podcast, Judd. Do you? Let's finish on talking about cancer. Am I right? Oh God, we've talked about shit for about 40 minutes, and then we end on cancer. What the hell? That's awful. Maybe
I think the title of this one should be 2021, the year of shit and cancer.
Oh God, I think it's gonna end up being shit and cancer are bad. I wonder if that one will get demonetized.
Shit and cancer are bad.
Oh God. Oh, we're gonna end up losing our sponsors. We've only got one sponsor. I looked at our money, by the way, we've made from this podcast in the total of it's been on. Over $5. Didn't expect that, did you?
No.
Over $5. There's no way of us withdrawing that. Because the service
it's just we get to look at it.
That's what we could have if they'd let us, because the service that lets you withdraw it is US only. So
why are we doing it then? What's the point?
Because you may as well monetize it.
No, but that's so stupid. They're just getting free advertising. Why are we doing that? Get it cancelled, you fucking idiot. Why are you just... That's so stupid.
I don't think they're going to want to sponsor us anymore, do you?
Well, no, because if a company wants to sponsor us and give us money, we can't just give us something. We can't just go plug our product.
He's so
The
angry
game
his internet
you just
died.
say that you're being sponsored.
Oh no! The reason is it's because the people we publish the podcast through
The,
are the only
only
sponsors.
company I would do that for. The only company I would do that for is Bad Dragon, because just the idea of them sponsoring us in any way is hilarious.
Yeah, come on, Bad Dragon, hit us up already. We've been waiting for ages. Anyway, that's that rant. No one cares about that bit. They enjoy hearing the sponsor at the start of the podcast, Judd. I've been reliably informed. That is about an hour. You got 2 seconds, Judd. Say something.